All right, today we're going to dive into what is, without a doubt, one of the most famous opening chapters in all of literature, Genesis 1. We're not just going to read it. We're going to break down its poetic structure, its narrative flow, and really see how this ancient story builds a universe, piece by piece, from total chaos into a structured cosmos. So let's get into it. And it all kicks off with this line. You know the one. It's just so grand, so definitive, right? It immediately sets this massive cosmic stage. You can almost hear it, like a powerful opening chord in a symphony. It's this declaration of where everything comes from, and it just echoes through the entire story. But, right after that huge opening line, the story immediately pivots. It shows us the raw material, the starting point. The world is without form and void. I mean, just picture that. Total primordial chaos. Darkness is everywhere, covering the face of the deep. So you have this undefined, empty, dark world, and that is the problem that the rest of this chapter is going to solve, step by methodical step. Okay, so how does the story even begin to tackle this chaos? Well, it does it in two really clear phases. First up, we've got days 1 through 3. This block of time is all about setting the stage, establishing structure, creating boundaries. It's like building the container before you can fill it with anything. It's prepping the world for all the life that's about to show up. And if you look at the 6 days all laid out, you see this incredible symmetry. It's really at the heart of the whole week. Check it out. The first 3 days are all about separating things and forming realms, right? And they line up perfectly with the next 3 days, which are all about filling those same realms. So, day 1 creates light and dark, and boom, day 4 fills that space with the sun, moon, and stars. Day 2 separates the water and sky, and guess what? Day 5 fills them with fish and birds. And then day 3 makes the land, which day 6 fills with animals and eventually us. It's not random at all. It's this incredibly deliberate, almost architectural progression. So on day 1, the very first creative act isn't just poof, something from nothing. It's actually about making a distinction. A voice speaks, light appears, and then it's immediately separated from the darkness. And this process, you're going to see it again and again. Separation and then naming, that's the fundamental tool here. It's how order is brought out of the chaos. It really puts the creative power of language front and center. And right after this first big act, we hear a phrase that's going to become this crucial refrain. It just echoes through the whole chapter. It's like a stamp of approval, a little check-in. And God saw that it was good. Think of it like a steady drum beat in the background, marking the end of each step and just reinforcing that, yes, this new order, it's good. Then, on day 2, that same pattern of separation just keeps going. This time, a firmament, which gets called heaven, is created, and its whole job is to divide the waters up above from the waters down below. So, bam, you've got the sky. It's another one of those fundamental boundaries that's bringing real structure to this once chaotic world. Day 3 is where we see the last of these big separation acts. The waters down below are all gathered together, and that allows the dry land to finally emerge. And yep, you guessed it, that same pattern kicks in. Division, then naming. The land is called earth, the waters are called seas. And just like that, the basic environment of the world, it's done. It's complete. But day 3 has this little twist. The moment the stage is set, with the land and seas in place, it gets populated, like immediately. The earth brings forth all this vegetation, and this introduces a really key theme for the whole story: reproduction. The text is very specific. The plants yield seed after his kind. This is a huge signal that life isn't just a one-off thing. It's designed to sustain itself, to keep on going. And there's that refrain again, right on cue, hammering home the goodness of each step. What's interesting is that on day 3, we actually hear it twice. Once right after the land and sea are separated, and then again after all the plants show up. It's a way of showing that the approval is super methodical and totally complete for that day's work. So now that the foundational realms are all set up, the narrative makes a pivot. We're moving into phase 2. The next 3 days are all about filling those empty spaces we just created. And remember that symmetry we talked about? This is where it really pays off. The second half of the week perfectly mirrors the first, but now it's all about populating those domains with life. All right, day 4, the heavens that were created way back on day 1, now they get filled. We get the sun, the moon, and the stars. And their job is absolutely key here. It's not just about light. No, they're there to give structure to time itself. They're for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years. They literally bring rhythm to existence. And once again, the work gets that stamp of approval. It's assessed and affirmed. This whole business of ordering the heavens and creating a celestial rhythm, yep, it's declared good. It just keeps reinforcing how deliberate and structured this whole progression is. Now for day 5, which, if you remember, perfectly mirrors day 2. The waters below and the sky above are suddenly filled with life. And the text describes it as a total explosion of creatures. We're talking great whales, every single living thing that moves in the water, every winged fowl. The world isn't just an orderly, empty stage anymore. It's becoming dynamic, it's coming alive. And here's something new. For the very first time in the story, a blessing is given, and it's given directly to these new creatures. The command is to be fruitful and multiply. It's basically an invitation for them to join in on the creative work, to go out and fill up all these realms that have been perfectly prepared for them. Of course, that familiar refrain pops up again, confirming that all of this new, teeming animal life is in fact good. You see the pattern, right? Each stage of complexity gets the thumbs up before the story moves on to the next. It's building layer upon layer upon layer of a good creation. And all of this brings us to the 6th and final day of creation. You can almost feel the narrative pacing slow down here, signaling that this is a big deal. This is the unique culmination of the entire week's work. The way humanity is created is described completely differently from everything else. It starts with this divine proclamation, "Let us make man in our image." Now, that idea of being made in a divine image, it suggests a special role, maybe as representatives or stewards. And that's immediately tied to the mandate of having dominion. Then you have the creation of male and female, and then another blessing to be fruitful, multiply, and subdue the earth. This whole 4-step process really sets humanity apart from everything else that came before. So the work of the 6 days is finally complete. And now the story offers one last big overarching assessment of absolutely everything that has been made. And right here, we see this really profound shift in the language. It's not just good anymore. Oh no. Now that every single piece is in place and everything is working together in this harmonious whole, the entire creation is declared very good. And that little word, very, is huge. It signifies completion, perfection, the total transformation of that initial chaos into a flourishing, amazing cosmos. So when you kind of step back and look at the whole chapter, what do you see? You see this incredibly elegant literary structure. Creation isn't happening through brute force, it's happening through speech. And it follows this super consistent 3-part pattern every single time. You get a command, and God said, then a report that it happened, and it was so, and finally that crucial assessment, and God saw that it was good. That's what gives the whole chapter its poetic, rhythmic, and honestly, its majestic feel. So you see, this is so much more than just a list of what got created. It's a story about how a world is made, through separation, through naming, through this deliberate, careful ordering. It's fascinating because a lot of other ancient creation myths start with some huge cosmic battle between gods, right? But not this one. This one begins with a voice that speaks order directly into chaos. And that really leaves us with a final big question to think about. What's the lasting impact of having a foundational story that isn't built on a chaotic battle, but on the power of structured language and a rhythm that ends in goodness and in rest?